What's going on, my dudes? Chensley11 here, and welcome back to another episode in the A to Z series. Today we are playing the Scary Horse Centaur Man. We're playing Hecarim. So this will be a Hecarim guide for the jungle. We're going to be showing you how to play Hecarim Jungle for beginners. So if you aren't aware of this series or new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs, and we are going through each and every single champion of the game. So we're up to Hecarim. Hecarim is a very, very fun champion in my opinion. Very strong right now in the meta. Very easy to play. Has a very solid clear. And I think he's quite fun. And I think he's a champion that if you're new to League of Legends, to give him a shot. I think he's easy, fun, strong, and he looks cool too. He's a bloody horse with a bloody stick. So there's that as well. So in this game, we are up against I think it's a Warwick jungle, yeah. So Warwick, and we're going to be showing you the clear. We're going to be showing you the runes, the skills. As we look at Gragas dance there in the mid lane, we're going to be showing you, the ability, and also what to build on Hecarim as well. So I'll flash them all up on the screen. Just keep in mind that there's a little bit of technical difficulties with the recording, a little bit of black screening, but that's okay, just in the start. And I'll just point them out when they're happening, but that's okay. It's just for a couple seconds. As they are right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be explaining the clear, and then we're going to go straight into the abilities, and then we'll also talk about a little bit of the build. So basically we'll start off with the runes as we start off with the blue buff. So we're going to be doing a standard clear. So we're going to be doing blue, gromp, wolves, chickens, red, and then we're going to go into either, depending if you have time, like a lot of my jungle videos, we'll do Krugs and then Scuttle Crab at 3:15 when it spawns. So you want to start Q as well, very, very important, and very, very important, you get W second, and I accidentally take E because I wasn't concentrating, because W helps your clear and helps you stay healthy a lot, but that's fine. We took E on accident. So when you're doing it, make sure you take W, and make sure you're activating it off cooldown because it just gives you some health regen. But we'll go through specifically what the abilities do in a moment. So we're going to have a quick quickly explain the runes. So we're going to go Phase Rush, synergize with his passive, which will make sense. Nimbus Cloak, obviously, again, synergize with his passive. Serenity, I can't even say this. Serenity from Yu-Gi-Oh! There. Pegasus's wife that passed away, I can't remember. Water Walking, again, Sudden Impact, and Revenous Hunter. So these are all movement speed, mostly movement speed abilities, which synergize perfectly well with Hecarim's passive, which we'll explain in a moment. And then you want to go Ember Knife, refillable pot, and then you want to go Trinity Force into Sterix Gauge. Steel Caps as well is my boot of choice, but you can also go Merc Treads if there's a heavy AP team, but that's fine. In this game, we're just going to go Steel Caps. So you can see we're clearing pretty fast. I was a little bit late to start my blue because I was worried about the bloody recording flickering, so we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. We know that the if you keep track of the enemy jungle, you can figure out kind of where they are. So we know that he probably started bot side, so he'll probably be on the top scuttle. So we're pretty safe to go grab that bottom scuttle at 3:30 or whatever it is when we end up going around to it. So yeah, we're going to start off with Hecarim's passive. And Hecarim's passive is called Warpath. So this is a really, really key and important thing about Hecarim as we take the Krug. So one other thing I want to quickly mention as well before we explain the passive is when we smite, I like to smite the chickens, the big chicken, or razor beaks if you want to call them by their real names. And then I like to keep one smite for the Scuttle Crab just in case there's a fight. But because we're running late, I thought I'll just quickly smite the Krugs to clear it faster, and then I should be okay. I don't think the Warwick's going to be down here, so he isn't. So we dodged the bullet there, but that's okay. Another thing quickly, before we explain the passive, I want to quickly mention that you can take Ghost as your other summoner spell, but I've been playing for many, many years. And for me, when I don't have Flash, it feels weird. So I know Ghost synergizes very, very well with Hecarim. I just like Flash. And it becomes useful this game, obviously. Flash is a very important summoner spell, but feel free to have a muck around with Ghost. I certainly did, and I liked it, but I just find it more comfortable with a Flash. So straight away, we're going to go straight into a gank. We get our first kill. Enemy team was pushed up. Very, very simple gank. Ganking lanes with a support like Leona, who has very easy to land CC, makes it very easy for me to get on top and use my Q, and you put my own CC down as well. So now we're going to explain the passive. So the passive is called Warpath. All it is Hecarim gains bonus attack damage with bonus movement speed. So the more bonus movement speed Hecarim has, the more bonus attack speed it has. So you can see right now we have a little bit of bonus movement speed as we're coming out. Oh, it went away really quickly. When you come out of the river or the fountain, sorry, when you come out of the fountain, you have bonus movement speed called, what's it called? I don't know, fountain speed. I don't know what the hell it's called. But you gain a little bit of movement speed as you like respawn or come back to lane. Come back to base. That'll increase your AD. So obviously some of your abilities give you movement speed. All the runes we said before give you movement speed. So that's why it's very, very important. And obviously Ghost would give you movement speed. But if you're going to flash on top of someone, you'll gain movement speed because of Nimbus Cloak anyway. So it kind of balances out. But Ghost is very, very good for getting extra AD and absolutely steamrolling opponents. So that's the passive rather. Very, very simple ability. Very straightforward. So we gank bot. Quickly talk about the path here. We gank bot. And then we're going to go straight up to our top side. Now what I noticed is that there's a scuff happening at the bot side over dragon. So obviously I'm not there, which sucks. But if this happens to you, don't just run to the dragon and run around like an idiot and die. Go take the enemy jungler's camps. So the Warwick takes the dragon, which is not the end of the world. There's plenty of dragons to grab. What do? I go and take all of his chickens. And then I'm going to work my way up to Krugs. And I'm going to take his Krugs as well. And then what we could have done here is I could have ignored these Krugs and dived the Nasus straight away. But I thought I'm going to be greedy here. I'm going to take the Krugs, then I'll dive the Nasus. But I think the Nasus backs before I get a chance to. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But that's okay. We steal a lot of farm off the Warwick. If he doesn't get the farm, he goes weaker in power and we go stronger. And that's going to be very, very important because we end up 1v1ing him a couple times this game. So that's a passive. We're going to quickly explain the Q now. So the Q is called Rampage. This is Hecarim's bread and butter ability. This is what's going to screw up your finger from pushing it every 2 seconds. Whenever you're playing Hecarim, you just spam the shit out of your Q. Basically, it's an ability that makes you spin your blade around. It does not cancel your auto attack. So some abilities are auto attack enhancers, like Fiora's E, for example, just one example. So you use the ability and then your next auto attack does something. This is different. This just swings the blade around straight away, no matter if you're halfway through an attack animation, it just swings it as well. And your auto attack will not get cancelled or anything like that. So you have no reason not to spam Q. So what does it do? It does AoE damage around you. And it has a little bit of a stacking mechanic. So if you hit, I want to see if I can show at the bottom here. So when you hit an enemy, see there's a 2 on above my Q right now, above my hotbar. So that stacks up and then it basically gives you cooldown reduction and it gives you a little bit more damage increase. So the way to stack it is you have to deal damage to at least one enemy to stack it, and then you can stack it up to 2 times and it falls off after a certain amount of time. So that's all it is. So you want to be spamming Q. So there's 1 Q, we can see it ticking down, and then we hit the second Q, there it goes up to 2. So now our Q's on a lower cooldown and it does more damage. So it increases your DPS. That's why you start Q. That's why it's your first max. Very, very simple ability to use, and it's very, very fun. A majority of your kills when you play Hecarim is you just whipping people with that Q. And if you're just on top of someone, it's impossible to miss, right? Because it just does AoE damage. As so, we're using it plenty against these camps when we're clearing them. So that's the Q. Next, we're going to explain the W. So this is the ability I should have taken second, but I failed to because I'm an idiot. But it's fine. We haven't been slowed down too much. It just meant that our first clear was a little bit slower and more unhealthy than normal, but that's okay. It didn't cost us in the end. If the Warwick was at the Scuttle Crab, we would have been screwed. So I just saw Warwick topside. Again, bot lane is pushed out. I'm pinging on the way, getting the Leona ready to just go and land your CC. So she goes in. I'm going to go straight after the Senna. It didn't quite work out, but you see what I did to the Tristana there. I E'd her, which I'll explain in a moment, back into my team, which allowed us to get another kill. So 2 ganks into the bot lane so far, 2 kills. So we are doing very, very well. We're getting nice and fed, and we're going to cause a lot of damage this game. So we also know that the Scuttle Crab is about to spawn, so grab these whenever you can. Make sure you use your E. We'll go through it in a moment on the Scuttle Crab as it gives its a form of CC, so it knocks off its shield. So the W, I started explaining it and then I stopped. As we see if we can get another gank. We're going to be chain ganking this Gragas here. I'm not sure if we can get him here. Alright, so we're going to go... The Warwick's here as well. Nice stun from the Kiana. Let's just watch this fight. We go straight onto Warwick. He misses his ultimate. That's quite funny. The Warwick, Gragas gets stunned. The Kiana dies. And look at this. I'm just going to push Q. And basically get a double kill from that with the auto attack on the work. So at this point, we're dumb-fed. It's all over. It's GG. We're huge. There's no way I can lose like this game if I play it correctly. Especially that I'm spreading a little bit of the gold around. Not really. I got 4 of the 5 kills. But this early game has been very, very strong, despite us starting E on accident. So W, let's finally explain what W does. So W is called Spirit of Dread. Basically, you push W and you get like a ring around you, and it does ticking magic damage, and all the damage you receive from all sources are healed back to you. So this gives you some disgusting 1v1 ability, allows you to survive the jungle very well, and it makes clearing AoE camps very, very easy because you're doing passive ticking damage to them, and every time they're hitting you, they're healing you. So you actually gain health. Sorry, I bumped the mic there. So you gain health from the enemy minions or even the enemy champions that are hitting you. We did finish off our Triforce, which is the first item that I recommend building, and then we're going to go straight into Steel Caps. That'll be good against the Warwick, the Nasus, and obviously both the bot laners. Not too good against the Gragas, but that's okay. He's not doing too well at the moment. We're going to clear this ward, and we're going to look to go get onto this Gragas. Actually, we're going to go straight onto the center here. We just ult her, Q, destroyed her instantly. We're trying to peel for this Kiana, but it's not going to work. They're going to die. We're going to finish off the Gragas, which we do. Straight onto the Warwick. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm using my W off cooldown. I'm spamming the shit out of my Qs. And use my E whenever I can, which is the next ability we're going to go through as we get another double kill, leading it into the dragon. So we're absolutely stomping this game. So the next ability is called Spirit of Dread. Oh, sorry, that's the W. The next ability is called Devastating Charge. So when you activate your Devastating Charge, you gain movement speed and you become ghosted. Now, what does ghosted mean? Ghosted means you can travel through minions and monsters without like getting creep blocked. You just run straight through them. So I want to show, there wasn't a good example there, but basically it means you can run straight over them. So you gain bonus movement speed. Again, that synergizes with your passive ability. And your next basic attack becomes unstoppable and has a bit more bonus range. And you basically charge, as you saw there, onto the enemy you targeted at, and they get knocked back. That's all it does. It does damage. So as we go, we're going to go for a clear, and then we're going to probably go for the Rift Herald. If I'm thinking about the same way I would play this now. Hopefully we go for the Rift Herald. Or a gank. We're going to go help out the Kiana who's trying to kill this Nasus. So that's basically all it is. That's the E. Very, very simple ability to use. Again, you can use it to knock people back. Let's see if I use it here. So that's what I did there. Knocked him back away from his tower to pull him away from safety. Then we're going to spam Q, have the W on. That's when the flash comes in handy. We just flash back onto the Gragas to secure the kill. And then we shut him down, get some more gold. We're 7-1 at this point. We're huge. We're going to go straight after the Nasus, activate our Devastating Charge, and jump onto him. Fortunately, we didn't get the kill there, but that's good, spreading some gold, and we are going to get that Rift Herald. So perfect game so far. Bit of a jungle gap, I'm not going to lie. Hecarim is super strong right now. I really recommend you guys to play him if you're just watching this video because you're curious. Play him. He's very, very fun, and he's very, very strong at the moment. Another thing with the Devastating Charge, once they get knocked back, they're like micro-stunned for like a quarter of a second as well. So there's that. So that's the E. The next ability is obviously his ultimate, and this ultimate can be absolutely devastating in team fights. A massive cause of disruption. It obviously does a lot of damage as well, and it's called Onslaught of Shadows. I'll try and point it out the next time you use it. Basically, you summon a gang of spectral riders or horses in a straight line, and they do magic damage, and then at the end of the area, let's see if I use it here against the Nasus. At the end of the area, I did use, there it is there. So see, at the end of that area, if they are near the end of where the horses end, they become feared. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out of that. I just went through the Nasus to do damage. It's a nice Gragas ult there, nearly killing our whole team. But that's basically what it does. You dash forward, it summons those Spectral Riders, they go through, deal damage, and then at the end of where they stop, they do it's like a pulse, and then everyone around them is feared, and then slowed as well. So it's very, very great form of CC, massive team fight disruption. We're going to see what we can do here. Unfortunately, we're a little bit low. We smited the Warwick. We're just going to be camping the bushes to try and get away from him to get a few abilities off, but his Q proved too strong there. If I didn't smite him and I smited him near the end, maybe I could have killed him, but probably could have played that better if I watched it back. But unfortunately, we do die. At 8-1 now, 2 deaths. A little bit too greedy. We're sitting at 3,000 gold. No excuse to be sitting on that much gold. We should have backed. Cashed in, probably got most components of the Sterix Gauge, and we definitely would have won that fight if we had that item. So that's all the abilities. The common theme with Hecarim is all about speed. He's the F1, he's the Formula 1 flying a high-speed champion of the game. So if you have champions in your team that buff movement speed, such as a Zillion, Hecarim becomes stupid, or a Yumi. Hecarim becomes ridiculous, and that's why he's very, very strong in pro play, because of that synergy. You get bonus damage based on your bonus movement speed, so very, very strong. So I want to try and point out when we use our E, you can see our AD actually increases because we've got more bonus movement speed, because we're getting bonus movement speed off the E. So that's basically all the Hecarim is. I like to do a full clear into just trying to gank as much as you can. Hecarim's ganking is far more easier than champions like we've just covered recently, like the Graves. Very clear. Run in with your E, knock people back away from their tower, and then you can use the ultimate as well in the big team fights to disrupt everyone. So this is going to be a bit of a quick video because the enemy team know that it's all over. I'm extremely strong. A lot of the players on my team are very, very strong, and we have completely controlled pretty much every single lane, and now we're just running around just getting chain, ganking, getting as many kills as we can. So right now we're going to be... So this would be a good time to pop your Ghost, right? If I had Ghost, but I don't. Obviously I've got Flash, because you want to get to that fight as quickly as possible. When you arrive, you're going to have that stupid amount of AD. So we're going to see the Warwick. He sees us and runs. So we're going to try and 2v1 this, because I did pick up my Sterix Gauge, so I know I'm very, very strong. So we're just going to jump onto the Gragas with the E. We use our ultimate. He flees away, and then I think our tick damage gets him. Yep, it does. Then we turn back onto the Warwick. We're going to run away from him, turning around so he can't auto-attack us, and we're just constantly doing damage with our Q. And then we hit him with our E a couple times, and we finish him off with all of our Qs that are going off. So that's it, guys. Super, super strong ability. Sorry, champion. I think I want to quickly reiterate. The enemy team's probably irritated. I want to reiterate how the ultimate works, because it sounds confusing. So when you summon the horses, it's where you stop, if that makes sense. So if you stop a bit earlier, that's where that burst of the fear will kick off. So just keep that in mind. You want to use it a couple times as the practice tool if you're not sure, but it's very hard to screw up. You just ultimate straight into them, and then they all get feared. And you can just follow them up because they're running away from you and they're slowed, so you can get on top of them. Again, we get another dragon, 10-1 at this point, and they're all in a choke point, so we're going to have a look to see what we can do here. They're all coming to get this dragon, but this video is getting to the end here because we're going to have an absolutely disgusting team fight. We're going to go straight into the thing. Look at this MF ult into the Kiana ult, and then Q's on top with my W going off. Absolute perfection. And after that, guys, they're going to say, GG, I've had enough. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button. We got Heimerdinger next episode. Should be a fun episode. We're going to be playing him top. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, at the end of the day, it's nighttime. Take it easy.